There are sounds in this world that science can't explain. Recordings so strange. They shake the human mind. A deep roar echoing from the bottom of the ocean. A haunting hum that drives entire towns crazy. Mysterious trumpet-like blasts in the sky, with no warning and no source. Some of these recordings are rare. Some are terrifying. And all of them raise one chilling question. If we can hear them, what's really out there? Sound 1, the bloop. Let's begin with the most famous mystery sound of the ocean. The bloop. In 1997, deep underwater microphones picked up a sound unlike anything scientists had ever heard. It was so loud, it could be detected over 5,000 kilometers away. At first, many believed it was the call of some massive, undiscovered sea creature. Something bigger than even a blue whale. But here's the mystery: no known animal on Earth could create a sound that powerful. And after several recordings, the bloop suddenly stopped. To this day, no one can explain what caused it. Sound 2, the Taos hum. Now let's move from the depths of the ocean to a small desert town in New Mexico. In the early 1990s, residents of Taos began reporting something unusual. A low, steady humming noise, like the distant engine of a truck. But the strange part? There was no truck. There was nothing there at all. This sound, now known as the Taos hum, drove people insane. Some described it as a constant buzzing inside their skull. Others said it made them dizzy, anxious, even sleepless for months. Imagine trying to fall asleep, but hearing a deep vibration in your head every single night, with no way to turn it off. Local authorities investigated. Scientists from universities came with sensitive equipment. Microphones, sensors, recorders. But the hum was almost impossible to capture. To some, it was loud and unbearable. To others, standing in the same room, it was total silence. How could that be? Some researchers suggested it might be caused by hidden radio waves or underground geological activity. Others claimed it could be a rare form of tinnitus, but that didn't explain why entire groups of people reported hearing it at the same time. And here's the darkest part: many who heard the Taos hum eventually moved away, leaving their homes behind. They said they simply couldn't live with it. To this day, the source of the hum has never been identified. The desert is quiet. Until you listen closely. Then, for some people, the silence begins to roar. Sound 3, sky trumpets.
Lighten up now.
That's crazy, man. Man, that's crazy. It's like a trumpet. It's like a judgment trumpet.
Now let's move to the skies, where a sound so unnatural has terrified entire cities. Starting in 2011, people around the world began recording a strange noise echoing from above. It was described as a deep metallic trumpet, as if the sky itself was groaning. Videos surfaced from Canada, the United States, Ukraine, even as far as Australia. In every clip, people look up in shock, searching for something that isn't there. Witnesses said the noise was loud enough to rattle windows and set off car alarms. Imagine walking outside and hearing what sounds like a giant horn in the clouds. With no planes, no factories, no storms. Just a clear sky and that dreadful sound. Scientists scrambled for answers. Some claimed it was shifting tectonic plates creating infrasound vibrations. Others said it was industrial machinery echoing across cities. But those explanations failed to match the sheer scale of the reports. How could identical sounds be heard on different continents at the same time? Religious groups called it the trumpets of the apocalypse, believing it was a sign of the end times. Online forums exploded with theories: alien communication, secret government weapons, or even the Earth itself warning us of something coming. And the scariest part? Many of these recordings were made by ordinary people, not conspiracy theorists. Parents, students, workers, everyone frozen in fear as the sky screamed back at them. To this day, the sky trumpets remain one of the most haunting mysteries of our modern world. Sound 4, the upsweep. Back to the ocean. Because not all mysterious sounds happen in the sky. In 1991, the US Navy's hydrophones picked up a series of strange noises in the Pacific. Scientists called it the upsweep. Unlike the bloop, this wasn't a single, powerful burst. The upsweep is a repeating pattern of long, rising tones, like someone dragging metal across the seafloor. It would last for several seconds. Then repeat again and again. And the creepiest part? It always seemed to peak during spring and autumn, as if something alive was following a cycle. The recordings were so loud they could be detected across the entire Pacific Ocean. But no one could explain them. At first, researchers thought it might be the shifting of tectonic plates, or magma rising from deep underwater volcanoes. But the pattern was too regular. Too organized. Some oceanographers even suggested it could be a form of communication. Whales? Unknown sea life? Or something else entirely? But here's the mystery, no whale species on Earth has ever been proven to make sounds like this. Decades later, the upsweep continues to be detected, though weaker than before. Imagine listening to the middle of the ocean, completely empty, thousands of miles from land, and suddenly hearing a metallic rising tone echoing out of the abyss. It feels less like random geology. And more like something down there wants to be heard. Sound 5, UVB-76 the buzzer. Finally, we leave the oceans and skies. And tune into one of the strangest radio signals ever discovered. Since the late 1970s, a shortwave frequency in Russia has broadcast a constant buzzing tone. It repeats about once per second, 24 hours a day, every day, for decades. That's why listeners call it the buzzer. Occasionally, the buzzing stops. And a human voice breaks through. Sometimes it's random numbers. Other times, single words in Russian. And then, just as suddenly, the buzzing returns. No explanation. No context. Radio hobbyists around the world have been obsessed with it. They've tracked the signal to a small military base outside of Moscow. But the Russian government has never admitted what it is. Some believe it's a channel for coded military communication. Others say it's part of a doomsday system. If the signal ever goes silent, it means something catastrophic has happened. The creepiest moment came in 2010, when the buzzing briefly stopped, and listeners around the world heard what sounded like footsteps. Muffled voices. And a man saying, "Command 135 initiated." Then, the buzz returned, as if nothing had happened. To this day, UVB-76 is still broadcasting. A lonely buzz, echoing into the static of shortwave radio. No official answers. Just the unnerving feeling that someone, somewhere, is still listening. Part 6, The Slow Down. In May 1997, just a few months after the bloop was detected, another strange sound echoed across the Pacific Ocean. Scientists called it the slow down. Unlike the bloop, this wasn't a short burst. It was a long, drawn-out sound that steadily decreased in frequency, like something massive was slowing to a stop. The noise lasted more than a minute and was powerful enough to be detected thousands of miles away. What could cause such a sound? Some suggested giant icebergs scraping across the ocean floor. But there was a problem. The signal was too clean, too precise. Ice doesn't make a perfectly smooth slow-down pattern. Others believed it might be a huge submarine or a secret naval experiment, but no official explanation was ever released. The strangest part? The slowdown came from an area of the ocean with no major shipping lanes, no known geological activity, and no history of icebergs. Just empty water, thousands of feet deep. It happened once. And then never repeated. A single moment in history, captured by underwater microphones, and then silence. If the bloop made people wonder about giant creatures, the slowdown raised a different fear. What if something down there tried to move, and then stopped forever? Sound 7, the wow. Signal: not all mysterious sounds come from Earth. In August 1977, a radio telescope in Ohio picked up something extraordinary. A 72-second burst of radio waves, coming from deep space. The astronomer on duty, Jerry Amon, printed the data. In the middle of the numbers, one signal stood out, 6.5. It was so strong, so unusual, that he circled it in red ink and wrote a single word in the margin: wow. Since then, it has been known as the wow signal. And here's the mystery: it has never been heard again. For nearly 50 years, no telescope has ever picked up anything like it. What made it so unique? The frequency was near 1420 MHz, the natural emission line of hydrogen, the most common element in the universe. Many scientists believe that if extraterrestrials wanted to send a message, they would use that exact frequency. But no information, no message, no pattern. Just a single, unexplained signal from the stars. Skeptics argue it could have been interference from a passing satellite or a reflection from Earth. Yet careful reviews found nothing that matched. And the signal was far stronger than any background noise, lasting more than a full minute before vanishing forever. To this day, the wow signal remains one of the best candidates for alien contact. Was it a deliberate hello? Or just cosmic static we happened to catch once by chance? One thing is certain: on that summer night in 1977, for 72 seconds, humanity may have been listening to something. Or someone. Beyond our world. These were some of the strangest sounds ever recorded on our planet. And even beyond. The bloop. The Taos hum. The sky trumpets. The upsweep. The buzzer. The slow down. The wow signal. Each one real. Each one unexplained. And each one leaving us with the same question: what else is out there that we haven't heard yet? Now I want to hear from you. Which of these sounds do you think is the most terrifying? Drop your answer in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this dive into the unknown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because the next mystery might be even darker.